Tomatoes have long been a symbol of healthy eating, a staple in Mediterranean diets and summer salads alike. But their true nutritional power isn't fully unleashed until they meet heat. At the center of this transformation is lycopene, a potent antioxidant that gives tomatoes their rich red color and, more importantly, their potential to protect your heart and possibly lower cancer risk. While raw tomatoes contain plenty of lycopene, it's in cooked tomatoes, soups, sauces, stews, where this compound becomes significantly more bioavailable. In other words, the heat of cooking doesn't destroy lycopene, it sets it free. Lycopene is a carotenoid, part of the same family as beta-carotene and lutein, but it behaves quite differently in the body. Unlike beta-carotene, it doesn't convert into vitamin A. Instead, it functions as a free radical scavenger, neutralizing the unstable molecules that can damage cells and contribute to aging, inflammation, and chronic disease. Its structure, made up of a long chain of conjugated double bonds, makes it especially effective at quenching singlet oxygen, a particularly harmful type of reactive oxygen species. But despite its power, raw lycopene is often trapped inside the plant's cellular walls, nestled in hard-to-access structures called chromoplasts. These compartments are surrounded by membranes that resist our digestive enzymes unless softened by heat. That's where cooking changes everything. When tomatoes are heated, especially at moderate temperatures for a sustained time, as in simmered tomato sauce, the cell walls begin to break down. The tightly coiled, crystalline lycopene molecules unroll and rearrange into cis isomers, which are more easily absorbed in the human gut than the all-trans form dominant in raw tomatoes. This transformation isn't merely theoretical. Multiple studies have shown that lycopene levels in the bloodstream increase significantly after consuming cooked tomato products compared to raw tomato. And it's not just about lycopene in isolation. Consuming it with a bit of fat, like olive oil, further boosts absorption, as it is a fat-soluble compound. What makes this more than a chemical curiosity is the growing body of research linking high lycopene intake with a reduced risk of several major diseases. Cardiovascular disease is perhaps the best studied area. Lycopene appears to prevent the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, one of the early steps in the development of atherosclerosis. It also supports better endothelial function, the health of the inner lining of your arteries, and may help lower blood pressure by improving nitric oxide signaling. One long-term cohort study found that men with the highest blood levels of lycopene had up to a 50% lower risk of heart disease compared to those with the lowest levels. This isn't magic. It's a reflection of the antioxidant's ability to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the vascular system. But lycopene's protective effects extend beyond the heart. Its role in reducing the risk of prostate cancer has been one of the most widely discussed and studied. Several epidemiological studies have shown that men who consume more tomato-based products have a lower incidence of prostate cancer. While the mechanism isn't fully understood, it may involve lycopene's ability to interfere with insulin-like growth factor, IGF, signaling, reduce DNA damage, and inhibit cancer cell proliferation. These effects are particularly intriguing because lycopene tends to accumulate in the prostate gland at high concentrations, suggesting a tissue-specific benefit. Lycopene may also play a role in protecting the skin from UV-induced damage, supporting bone health, and slowing cognitive decline, although these areas are still emerging in research. What's clear is that lycopene acts on multiple levels, as a direct antioxidant, a modulator of gene expression, and even as a mild anti-inflammatory agent. All of these properties make it a compelling example of how food, when thoughtfully prepared, can have medicinal potential. The lesson here isn't to abandon fresh tomatoes. Raw tomatoes still offer plenty of vitamin C, hydration, and light-tasting refreshment, especially in summer. But if you're aiming for deeper, long-term protection against oxidative stress, cardiovascular disease, and cancer, then tomato paste, sauce, or even roasted cherry tomatoes might be the better choice. And when paired with heart-healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, common in Mediterranean cuisine, you're creating a nutrient synergy that science increasingly supports. In a world of exotic superfoods and expensive supplements, it's worth remembering that some of the most powerful disease-fighting compounds are sitting quietly in your kitchen. Not in their rawest form, but gently simmering in a pot of tomato sauce. Cooked tomatoes aren't just comfort food, they're cardiovascular and cellular guardians, made stronger by heat.